Hello everybody. Ooh. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have got a huge bookish unhaul for you. I recently, new year, new me, had a little bit of a sort out of my bookshelves and kind of really evaluated what books I wanted to keep, what books I was seriously interested in reading, and I have got a massive pile of books that I am going to unhaul. Just a quick disclaimer that by the time this video goes live, these books will already be at my local charity shop or have been passed on to friends that kind of wanted them. I unfortunately can't send books out to people because books are heavy and they are really expensive to ship. Unfortunately, I cannot afford to do that to people and do that to myself. So these are just all going to my local charity shop where hopefully they will find a better home. Okay, so let's get into it. So I think I'm going to start with series first. The majority of these are series that I have read, or series that I've read the first book and didn't like, or just series that I'm not really interested in reading anymore. So the first group or trilogy of books is the 100 trilogy by Cass Morgan, and I read this trilogy for a good couple of years ago now when the TV show first came out. This basically follows a group of 100 people who were trapped in a pod, and the pod crashes down to earth or something like that. It is a sci-fi series. I read the first one, absolutely loved it. I read the second one, sort of loved it. I read the third one and it got a bit questionable. This series went downhill for me, and I personally don't read very much sci-fi anymore. It's not really my thing, so I am never going to reread these. Somebody else will be better off reading the trilogy. I enjoyed them while I had them. They were alright reads, but they were just collecting dust on my shelves, so I don't need them. So the next group of books I bought, I'm just no longer interested in reading, and this is, I don't know what the series is really called, but it is by PC Cast, and it is Divine by Choice, Blood by Choice, no, Divine by Choice, Divine by Blood, Divine by Mistake. It was like a used trilogy thing that I bought ages ago, and at the time when I was in college I was really interested in reading these. I thought they sounded alright, but as the years have gone on, my reading tastes have completely changed, and realistically I don't think I'm ever going to pick these up, ever. They sound like an angsty paranormal YA romance, and I don't really feel like I'm going to read that. I have read some of PC Cast's writing before. It was alright, nothing special, nothing I'm going to run home about. So I'm just going to unhaul these. They can go to a better home. Maybe somebody else will want to read them. These are very Twilight era books. The next set of books I actually started to read. I was originally doing a video where I read the first chapter of the books that have been on my TBR the longest, and it was The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, and I listened to the audiobook, or the first chapter of the audiobook for this trilogy. I listened to the first chapter of Eragon. That video never saw the light of day, and I just really didn't like it. It was written how fantasy is stereotypically written. It was very complicated, very pompous English. I could tell that this was written quite a while ago, and I am just not interested in reading it. Like, this trilogy, they are big books, and I know that there are other books in the trilogy, and I'm just not interested. So these can go to a better home as well. And the next set of books is slightly embarrassing because it's still in the cellophane with the price tag on. So this I bought at the similar time to when I bought the Divine books. Quite a few of my friends were reading these, and it is the Hush Hush trilogy. Could be a quartet now, but I bought it as a trilogy. And I know that this follows like an Angel Forbidden Love kind of deal, and at the time I was really interested in reading this. However, again, as my reading tastes have changed, I'm no longer interested in reading this. And later down the line, I've also heard really, really mixed reviews about the books and how healthy the relationship and the romance in this book is. And I don't want to read or support a book that promotes a very unhealthy, potentially abusive relationship in a book. I want to see healthy relationships in books. So this is absolutely brand new, never touched. Somebody can really enjoy it. Somebody's going to get a bargain in a charity shop. So yeah. And the final quartet in my series section of this video is the Uglies trilogy. This, oh, just focus. This is a proper booktube OG. I remember when everybody was reading this quartet. I originally read the first one in the series, which I think is Pretties, and it's like a dystopian sort of series based around like how you look, etc. Pretty people have surgery and they go and live in this big house, and I really, really enjoyed the first book. I was actually really, really late to the game. I think I read these in 2017 or even 2018, and I really enjoyed the first book in the series. I read it really fast and I really wanted to read the second one. I just don't know which. It could be this one, I don't know. I'm not sure what order these go in. I read the second one in the series. It was alright, nothing special. Again, it sort of went downhill. Whereas I feel like nowadays with series, the first book tends to be the weakest and then the author tends to get better as the series progresses. But this got a bit boring. And then I think Specials was the next one. And I actually think I DNF'd this. I really, really wasn't interested in it. It was so just rubbish. I didn't like it, and then I never read the prequel afterwards. Yeah, I didn't bother. So these are a proper booktube OG. It'd be really great for somebody who is a teenager just starting to read. The concept of the society is a pretty warped, but even though these books are quite old, I still feel like it's relevant today. But I felt like the series went downhill for me. Maybe I wasn't the right sort of audience, etc, etc. Now I get onto the portion of the video that is kind of like standalone-y, just books that I have one of, they're not part of a series. So the first one I read pretty recently, didn't really enjoy. Thrown a Glass by Sarah J Maas. Didn't like this. You probably know why I didn't like this. This is going to my friend Lisa, who did like this, so it's going to go for a better home. I never even bought the rest of the series. I just bought this to try it. Didn't like it. Not going to carry on with the series. I don't need it on my bookshelves. I need room on my bookshelves for stuff I like and enjoy. The next one on my bookshelf that I've read and didn't really think I'll reread was All That Was Solid Melts Into Air by Darren McKeon. I kind of liked it. It took me a long time to read. I think I kind of lost the gist of the story a little bit, and that's why I didn't really carry on. Well, it's not a series. It was alright. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. However, I'm not going to reread it, and it's quite a chunky hardback and it's taken up quite a bit of space on my shelves. I didn't love it, I didn't adore it, and I really don't need it on my bookshelves. Next book in this pile is Home Fire by Camilla Shamsi. I read this with a buddy read with my friends earlier in the year. Again, a bit like All That Solid Melts Into Air. I didn't hate it, but equally I didn't absolutely adore it. It's not my favourite book. I don't think I'm ever going to reread this. This is kind of like a Greek myth retelling, but I don't know which myth. I can't remember. That's how memorable it was. But it was told kind of through the context of a Muslim family, and there were good bits in the story. There are also bad bits. I also felt like the middle of the book was an absolute friggin' shambles. I didn't like it. This won the Bailey's Women's Prize for Fiction in 2018, and I don't know if it deserved it. It was, yeah, it was a bit meh. I didn't think that it lived up to the hype. So this book is quite popular. Maybe somebody else will enjoy it. It's going to go to the charity shop. And the next couple of books are books that I haven't read but I'm no longer interested in reading. And the first book is, I bought it secondhand, it's still got the price on, My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I know that this is about a girl who gets cancer. I've watched the film. I know that the film is slightly different to the book, but it's really depressing, the film, and it made me really sad. And because I know that it's got a sad ending, it makes me not want to pick the book up, basically. So yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to read this. I don't really want to read a book that is just aimed around not terror, but a terrible situation and something that's going to make me feel sad, because books are like escapism to me. But this book was very, very popular, so maybe somebody else would like to read it. The next book is Where Rainbows End by Cecilia Ahern. I'm pretty sure that this is what the film P.S. I Love You is based on. P.S. I Love You. No, Love Rosie. This is the book that Love Rosie is based on. I've seen Love Rosie. Seen Love Rosie. Typical romance film. But I don't really feel like I need to read such a big romance book. Yeah, I've seen the film. This book, just not really interested in reading. It's been on my shelves a couple of years now. I don't read loads of romance. I actually want to read more, but I don't feel like this conventional romance is for me. It's literally sitting on my shelves doing nothing. So somebody else. This book I tried to read and struggled because I don't really do sci-fi. It is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is like a Lost in Space trilogy, OG booktube popular thing. Yeah, it was alright. I tried to read it, couldn't. I really struggle with sci-fi. I'm kind of not into sci-fi. I bought this when Kaz from the Little Book Owl was like raving about it, but in reality this book isn't for me. So it's been on my shelves for a couple of years. I thought I'll pick it back up, but I never did. So I think I'm just going to DNF it and get rid of it and unhaul it. The next book is A Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. Again, bought secondhand. This, I don't even know what it's about. I've heard that it's terrible. I've heard that her other adult books are a lot better. And also J.K. Rowling is cancelled now. Yeah, I have no interest in reading this book. I don't care what it's about. I don't like... Just J.K. Rowling is not in the internet's good books at the minute, and I just don't think I want to read it. Yeah, I wanted to read it when it first came out because woohoo, J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, you know, but no, I don't want to read it anymore. It's huge, it's taking up space on my shelves. I'm not interested in reading it. It might go sell in a charity shop. And the final book I bought on a whim because it was signed. I don't even know what this book is about. I don't know what the premise of this book is. I just bought it because it was signed, and that is not the reason to buy a book. It's been sat on my shelves for a couple of years now. It's The Dynamite Room by James Hewitt. I am really not interested in reading this book. Never have been, never will be. Don't know why I bought it. Somebody else can enjoy a lovely signed copy of this book apart from me. So, there we go. Au revoir. So, those are all the books that I have unhauled. Yeah, it's a lot of books, but I was running out of space on my shelves. Most of them I've read, or they're just series that I started to read and realised I'm no longer interested in. So, yeah. Let me know, like in the comments down below, if you have unhauled books recently. Do you unhaul books? I know some people like to keep books on their shelves just so they've got a record of what they've read at certain times in their lives. I am not that sort of person. I have quite limited space here and I don't have my own library just yet. So books that I don't enjoy can just kind of go. I kind of treasure the ones that mean something to me. But this is an ever-changing library here on my channel. So yeah, let me know if you unhaul books. Do you keep them just as display things? But yeah, I will see you all again soon with another video. Goodbye.